Spencer, Jeff Hurst, the Trevor Brooking and Billy Bonds, Paolo Di Canio, West Ham United. We celebrate our victories, we stick together in defeat. Proud of our history, West Ham United, more than just a podcast, more than just a podcast.
Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning. This is just more than just a podcast.
Podcast, sorry.
Episode 46 of season 12. This is question time following episode 45. And the gang at the moment are all still together. We'll see if we make it to the end. But George, welcome back for the second episode of the year. Way!
Thanks. I don't know if I'm going to make it to the end of this one.
But you know, at least you turned up at the beginning. John, welcome back.
Thank you.
It just seems moments ago.
I missed the inter episode chatter.
Yeah, I know.
I must have missed it.
Yeah, there wasn't. Caddingtown Len, welcome back.
Hiya.
And Jebman, welcome back.
Yeah, all right, come on. You better fucking edit this properly.
Good God.
Of course. Anyway, it is the second episode of the week where we get to do this. It's Facebook, Twitter, a question time where you, the 8 listeners, get to ask us the 5%.
We're still on 8. Are we still on 8?
Yeah, 8, maybe 9.
I reckon we've got to be up to 9 by now.
I think we lose a few with some of the
I think
comments.
a few died, maybe. A few
Though
died.
we haven't spoke about women's football recently.
Oh, no, don't go there.
No, but if people listen to the previous episode, Sean was very racist on occasion.
Oh,
so,
I just said something about Johnny Foreigners. That's all I said.
you went all old Hugh Southern on us.
No, I didn't. Anyway,
Yeah, he was sober, John.
Nigel, you're going to tell me we've got 11 comments from our 8 listeners, and it'll be a early bath time, yeah?
No, so I think because George is here, and George never really makes it to the end, I'll start with the end. So I'll start with Twitter.
Oh, right, okay.
Wow.
So, because there's generally, only a few on Twitter. So, we'll test George out.
All right. Okay.
So first
get in
up-
early, because
Yeah.
you'd be gone within half
This
an hour.
first up, it's our mate, Alf Gasparo.
Is he our mate?
It was fucking yesterday.
Well, you was all right talking to him in the
Alf!
supporters club,
Fucking
innit?
second name.
Oh, I hope you're listening, Alf.
Yeah, sorry,
Now you
Alf.
know.
I do know you are now.
You made a big impression on him, Alf.
Yes.
Obviously,
No wonder, Sean, he didn't come over when you was there until I turned up.
I spoke to him before you turned up, actually.
Yeah, and then left him on his own.
Yeah,
And
I
I said,
did.
what are you
Yeah,
doing
I
there?
did.
Comes like.
I did
So,
leave him on his own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're a proper mate, you and
Yeah.
you. So you're right. Stick with me, Alf. I'll look after you, son. Don't worry.
Sorry.
Anyway, Alf overheard an interesting tidbit at the game on Sunday.
Yeah.
So this is what he overheard. Us as a fan base have lost our ability to be patient. He says, do you think it is true and it's because of the hyped expectations of the move and the failure to deliver, which has repeated itself this season in the league? It's a great show as always. Love your work, Len. Sean could do better.
Thank you.
Brady out.
Well, you wait.
Brady
till
out.
He did
next
ask me to do it like
question.
this.
You might not consider that.
Brady out. In a broomy accent, spin down to feathers, cricketers. Oh, I didn't tell you about me Saturday game, did I?
Hitchin. There was a...
Redditch. In the Redditch.
What's the rhyming thing? Is it?
Hitchin.
Hitchin. There once was a woman from Hitchin. Go on, Sean.
Who had an unfinished kitchen.
Her husband said, "Dear, it's the effort I fear. Now leave me alone and stop bitching."
Yeah. I will show. I'll have to show her that. Yeah, well done. That was Lennon and Sean's attempt at comedy at my expense.
We knew it was good because you didn't.
you said you were finished.
You did hear for him for over a day.
You must have finished it.
No, I said I'm doing it this week. Innit?
Oh.
So by this time next week, if everything's gone to plan,
Yeah, right.
the kitchen will be finished.
What do you reckon, John?
Well, is this the same kitchen that when we saw you at your daughter's wedding?
Yeah,
was
that's
it?
the one. That's the one.
So it's still the same kitchen?
It's
that's the
snagging.
same
John.
Have you moved or something?
No, it hasn't.
No,
moved.
no,
It's all the same kitchen.
It's snagging. It's snagging.
Blimey. Mate, you should have just said, I would have nipped over for
Just some
Saturday
trim,
or-
and I'm repainting the whole room because it actually needs repainting since I last did it.
since you
We
started.
need a
it.
new
Since I
kitchen.
started it, yeah. No, well, the funny thing is, she looked at me and the other day because she's talking about maybe extending it and everything, and I was like, "Can I just finish this effort first before you start thinking about?" I know you've had this kitchen for a couple of years, but I'm just gonna get ready to finish it, just enjoy it before you start asking me to rip it apart again.
Don't let her look at online or anything because kitchens only last about 2 years and they all
dear.
start getting new lines in and
Oh, yeah, well, don't.
Anyway,
But anyway, as a fan base, have we lost our ability to be patient? And if so, do you think what is it?
modern football,
Right.
social media.
Flip flops.
Yeah.
So do you agree with that then, Sean? You think
Yeah, I
we've
do.
lost
I do. I think not just all football, life in general. We're impatient. Everything must be immediate satisfaction.
No, I can't have that actually, because that hasn't been my stance this season. Not me personally. I'm
Yeah,
not
but you're
saying
an
you're not
oldie.
right
You're
generally,
an
but
oldie.
Yeah.
I do think there's something else. I just think we're also kind of Alfie's saying it, but we've had a lot more shit than usual as well that we have to swallow, that we know is not true, and which
But
is
is that do social media and I'll throw 6'2" in that, and the ilk and the YouTubers and all that. Is it the constant need for content,
Yeah,
that
of course it
actually
is.
feeds into
Of
that?
course it does.
A man walks into a pub and stops another bloke, and apparently everything is David Moyes' fault.
Yeah, of course it is.
Says
Of course
man
it
in
is.
pub.
well, no, but
It's not
another
just West Ham.
it looks like David Moyes' fault though.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
then-
need. I don't need a YouTuber. to
20
tell me
years
that.
ago, we wouldn't know if said man walked into a pub and bumped into said behind-the-scenes person who worked at the club in said pub.
We'd have to wait for Olaf a week later.
Well, even Olas, though, wouldn't have known a bloke who's gone in the pub. And
There
said-
is, but I think David Moyes is a special case.
look, if it looks like shit, smells like shit, it's shit.
Is
innit?
that
And-
exactly it, isn't it?
you know,
I do
in
agree with
Moyes'
what you're
case-
saying,
Look,
but
we should ask George on this one. He's in marketing, right? And he's younger than all of us. You answer the question as a youngster.
The question being, are we more impatient now?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Nigel. I think it's the content creators
Mm. Yeah, that's
stirring
what I
the pot, causing the problems, and I think we are in the midst of probably one of the main antagonisers in Sean Whetstone, who
Yeah.
yeah,
constantly
the
feeds,
impatience I agree with. Yeah,
constantly feeds the fan base antagonistic content.
Do you think that allies itself in the fact that 12 managers have lost their job in the Premier League?
Yep.
So
yeah, it's,
only
not
8
all,
managers.
it's not all Sean's fault, that. but-
No.
You can't blame
Yeah, it's not all 12.
Come on.
No, but like,
Actually, the
what
only
I'm
one that
saying
he
is,
could influence, he hasn't. So
it's not exclusive. Like the frustrations and the lack of patience is not an exclusivity of West Ham. That actually
No.
is symptomatic
not.
of football fans nowadays.
I think with our fans at the moment, I think we've been we've had such little success for so long that little sniff of an improvement when we saw some progress, everybody jumped on that, and I just think what's happening now is the reaction to the disappointment that we're just a realisation that we've just gone backwards again. We all thought that maybe we're starting to slowly progress and that we were moving in the right way, and then all of a sudden now it's a realisation that here we go again, we're just as shit as we were and we've gone backwards. And I think there's the frustration there all round. That's not so much an impatience, I just think there's a realisation that we're just shit again and we've got to start again.
How big a part do the lies told about the move I'm being a bit facetious.
Well,
there
for
in
me,
what
the
I'm
big,
saying that, but-
I don't go anymore, and a lot of that's down. The majority of that's down to the move.
Hmm.
You know. So, I mean, it's hard for me to say how people feel on it now because of the move. Everything I hear and see sounds to me like it's still not a very nice experience to go there. It's still not, you know, it's not a
No,
nice
yeah,
place.
I mean, you know, if Len sticks to his guns, he won't be there next year, and I would blame the move, you know, primarily for
Yeah,
that.
probably would too. Yeah.
And so, one thing I will ask, perhaps I don't know, not Sean actually, I'll ask the other three of you, is that if the club would finally sit down and acknowledge with the fan base that the move hasn't panned out how they said, and try to work with fans to make it better, do you think that would help? Or do you think
you mean
that?
another committee?
Well, no, not another committee.
I don't think they've got it in.
No, and this
They
is
just need to
that's
go.
a separate thing. Would it help if they did? Do you think if the club finally went, look,
No, I've lost all trust.
we
in
acknowledge what we said in the past,
Yeah.
it's not panned out how we hoped it would be, it's this and this and this, we can acknowledge it, or the club, because at the moment, if you go to the club, they paint a picture like they're a political party, that everything's rosy in the garden. So if you ask the Tories what the state of the country is, they'll go, everything's rosy in the garden. Yeah, look at what we're doing. Look at what we're doing. But their failure to acknowledge what they've done in the past to cause it is part of the problem. And I'll put that the same against Golden Sun, well, the Gold family, even though the price of gold's dropping at West Ham. Would that help if the owners like the Bradys and whatever come out and finally admitted that it hasn't gone to plan?
I mean, personally, I'm beyond that point, but
yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, it wouldn't affect my decisions or whatever, but you know, I mean, it'd be a good thing for them to try and do. But what I think you've said it before, this ownership will always be tarnished with it, and it will never be able to move on from it properly until we get a new ownership and someone who actually does engage and does try and get hold of it and improve it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've got what we've got, and everyone needs to accept that. But I'm sure there's lots of things that could be done to improve it, but most of it, unfortunately, would cost money, and our lot aren't willing to do it, are they?
No, and also by making the changes necessary, they'd be forced to admit that what the plan was wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, I know. Can't see any of it coming to
Do you
fruition.
think that Sean would help? Stooge?
No.
No.
And I'll tell you why. I just don't. I think it's shallow and
You think
yeah.
it's shallow? What, to admit your mistakes?
Yeah, I think it wouldn't do anything. And it's like me just going, do you know what? I'm not a bald stooge anymore, and I disagree with the stadium and everything. It would have zero credibility.
And you
them
think
saying
Brady
it-
should be get sacked? You mean if you come out and never said that?
Look, if all I'm saying is, if I'm going to use one of your favourite words, if they apologised for the misdemeanours you're accusing them of, it would be disingenuous, and it would be.
I didn't ask for the word apology, did I?
What
What
were
I
you
said was
saying?
an acknowledgement.
acknowledgement.
Or acknowledgement. It would be seen as disingenuous. It would be they want something. I just don't see it would cut. There's either apathy, or the people who really care would not accept the acknowledgement. It would make no difference.
So the discourse realistically has gone past the point
Yeah,
of no return.
yeah. I absolutely. There's no point crying over spilt milk, is the old saying, and I think it's gone way past it. Someone said to me the other day, actually, one half of the problem's out of the way, and the other one, maybe when the other one's gone, then maybe it's time to move on.
Gents,
And
I'm gonna
I
leave you.
think that would also mean the end of Miss Brady as well. But I don't think they would ever forgive Sullivan and Gold. Now, Gold's dead. Hopefully, they're not going to hold Vanessa or Scarlett to account of what their father and grandfather did. And the same, could be said of David Sullivan, who's 75 and with his new girlfriend, etc. Maybe when he's gone, do we move on? Do we stop talking about this? Look, we're not going back to the bowling ground. What does an acknowledgement do? We're not knocking down the stadium. That's not happening. We're not buying the stadium. That will never happen, right? We might get a long lease. We might run it. We might operate. We might get the naming rights. Some point we've got to move on. And there's two ways to do this. Either everybody who used to care dies, right? And it becomes a generational thing. Or they stop going, like John.
And George.
And George.
And me.
Yeah, and you.
You're right, actually, Sean.
Thanks. For
I'll
what?
tell you what, though, it's going to be a bloody long question time if Nigel asks another question after every single question. That was our first question, and then you asked another one.
Let's move on. George has had to say his goodbyes because...
Oh, blimey.
Yeah, he's gone.
I could hear some child screaming in the background.
Dog, he said.
All right. Did
Oh,
you
dog,
recognise
was
it from Saturday?
Which one was it? Which child was it?
It's just full on, isn't it? When they're that age.
All right.
Anyway,
Full on.
let's move on.
Right. Sean loves Brady on Twitter. Has anyone
Who
tried
do we
the
think
new...
that is?
I don't know, but they can be funny. They've gained at least 6 followers, and I was honoured to be the first.
Well
to
done,
be
mate.
fair. Has anyone tried the new Brady burger at London Stadium? It's served from a Tesla. Not the greatest on the eye. It comes with 2 large baps and a Brady Inn poster. Sean and Karen, the Stratford Possum begs. Is she just misunderstood? Brady Inn. Is that you, Sean?
What?
Sean loves Brady, running that account?
No, it's not. It's
All
not.
right. It was funny because I tweeted the other day a picture I've just sent you all, the fake taxi Tesla.
Oh, that's all right.
It
Yeah.
said West Ham football spotted on his way to London Stadium, unable to confirm Karen's auditioning. IT case and message.
Ah. If Karen ever listened to this, she would be...
Oh, I don't care. I hope she does, and I hope she hates us. Good.
Well, you. And by the way, it's a Baroness to you.
All right. Is it? All right. Yeah, of course, because I'm not her friend.
They're certainly not.
Definitely not. Is that Baroness with 1 or 2 R's? Anyway. Dan 3160 4340, we're a bit early today, 4H. Says with Nigel predicting a Champions League place finish.
Yeah.
Who do you hope we draw in the group stage? Bayern Munich. No, I'd go Dortmund, Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid. If we're going to go out, let's go out proper.
Who said we're going to go out?
Anyway, yeah. He says, I see Sully put the stooge to work after the game, bigging up a win.
Yeah.
Draw was fair. It was another dismal performance.
Dog shit.
Can't polish a turd. Brady out.
Brady out. Brady out.
Brady out. I think that's it for the podcast.
Oh, that's a shame. Is
Twitter.
that, can I play the theme tune?
No, that
No,
was
no,
just Twitter.
That
Oh.
was just
Got Facebook.
so
All the lovely Facebookers.
stream over to
Full of warmth.
Let's have a look.
People don't do Facebook anymore. It's starting to sort of calm down, isn't it? John's not. even
I'm
on
loving
Facebook.
Facebook now at the
Are you?
moment.
When's the last time you did Facebook, John?
I don't know, when I left Facebook. I don't know, how long ago was that?
Okay.
That's about 7 or 8 years ago, more than that probably.
Love my Facebookers. They love me for who I am. Not Twitter. Make me laugh or fuck off. That's Twitter. Be tribal or don't want to know.
Right, there you go. Right.
It's fun though.
So we must have only 8 listeners because 8 people liked my question. Question time, full house tonight. So over to you. Next up. It says, first up, says Scotty Crosland.
I don't get warmer than Scott.
Good to meet the legend that is Canning Town Len at the Liam Brady event.
See?
Top man, younger than he sounds like. Everybody says that about you, actually.
I'm more fucking miserable than I should be for my age.
Oh dear, why are we tolerating this hand-to-mouth nonsense
I said
with our
that.
matches?
That's what I mean.
We looked dog shit against Southampton till we scored, and we all wander off happy till we get battered by Newcastle and the moaning starts again.
It's about
How
living,
can
not
we
existing.
be so easily pleased? Why aren't we threatening to burn the stadium down?
What?
Brady
It's a bit
out.
harsh.
Brady out. I love that. That's going to be hard to beat, that comment. Everything about that, I love it.
Well, you've heard what I've said in the previous episode, people, so I just, at this moment in time, I don't want to waste the energy because it ain't going to do anything. I've wasted enough energy on West Ham, to be honest. Next up, Shane Bell. It's Alan Ladd, as we like to call him. I think he got to choose that one because he was named after Shane, the film. Do you remember the Shane film? Cowboy film? John, you're old enough.
I don't really. No.
No?
I sort of heard of it.
Shane, come back, Shane. The little boy running at the end.
No.
I think it was like a gun for hire that come and rescues a family that were being attacked and their farm. And it's a bit like an old-fashioned I-Planes Drifter. Sort
Yeah,
of
I
like
don't
that.
remember that one. I did
No.
like me old.
Yeah.
You know, I did like the old spaghetti westerns
Yeah,
and all those.
no, that's not spaghetti western.
I
This
know,
was-
but I did. I mean, I liked them, but
yeah, this
I
was
didn't
more
see that
penne. But anyway, Shane carries on. Evening, gents, he says. Thanks for going easy on my last week, and thanks for answering my question. It was an honour to be on your podcast.
Wow.
He says, I've never had a nickname, so to get 5 in one night was very much appreciated. He does say, I don't mind Alan Ladd, as I was named after the film, and it's my favourite Western. He said, I don't mind Tinker, as Tink was my late dad's nickname. He says, but I'll leave it up to you. There you go. It's a question he has got. He said,
Right.
which is, who do you think we should get to replace Deck? Or do you think Downs can step up? So we're not replacing Moyes, we're replacing Declan.
I think Downs can step up.
Really? Calvin Phillips.
I don't think they're the same player, similar players.
Excuse me. Anyone, John?
yeah, I think he's got to be given a chance to step up, and I can't think, why he'd give Downs a chance to step up, I reckon.
I'd replace him with Paquetá if he's definitely going to go.
Yeah, I mean,
Free up the spot.
what you wouldn't have seen was the talk before the game with Gary Neville and all them lot talking about Declan Rice and Gary Neville.
No.
Jamie Redknapp saying that he's got everything, he's got this, but he's still young. And then Gary Neville saying, yeah, but he's not worth the money he's being talked about. He's in that sort of money. You're looking at a Bruno Fernandes, and you're looking at, and it's like they're just not the same players. You've got Gary Neville, basically comparing Declan Rice to a sort of flair player, goal scoring midfielder. It's just like, how is this guy on the telly? I really don't know. Pretty shit.
Well,
Just basically trying to talk his value down, really.
yeah.
Perhaps he realises Deck don't want to go Man United.
Yeah. Where will he go, do you reckon?
I don't know. Who knows? He could go back to Chelsea. I think that not the top of the Premier League is his oyster. I think it'll be Man United, Man City, Liverpool, or Chelsea. The funny thing is that obviously with Liverpool and Chelsea, it don't look like you're getting Champions League
Champions
football this
League, no.
season. So unless by crook Chelsea managed to win it, which let's face it, it's not out of the realms of reality. Stranger things have happened in that way. But though if they beat Real Madrid, that is some feat. I don't know. For me, it's Arsenal or Man City.
Man
And
City
maybe
for
there
me.
we could deal with Calvin Phillips. I would have Calvin Phillips all day long. I would not turn my nose up at him.
Oh yeah, and so would I.
No, no one would turn those up. I think it's likely he goes that way and Phillips comes this way with some cash.
Hmm.
I've
You
got,
had
a feeling,
anything?
I've got a feeling he might go to Liverpool.
Well,
I've got a feeling Mason Mount is going to Liverpool, and I think he might follow.
you reckon Mason Mount to Liverpool? What do you think? Because I mean, the story is that they've done the deal with Dortmund for Jude Bellingham, but it was supposed to have been done in January, but nothing's really been made official. So
Well, Mason Mount's refusing to sign a contract, and he's into his last year. He wants $250 a week at Chelsea, but he's likely to go. I just think, yeah, I've got a feeling.
see, that's the disappointment because and this is the thing now with the haves and have-nots in the Premier League, where years ago West Ham would be looking at a player like Mason Mount, not getting a game week in and week out at Chelsea, come to us. But these players are going to be on so much money
Yeah, they can't come to us.
that, to come to us, they've got to be. It will be a football decision. So, we'll, gone are the days, I think, where we could take players off of the top six that weren't getting in the team. It's like Calvin Phillips in a way. Calvin Phillips is probably on 200 odd grand a week,
Yeah,
but he's lost his England spot. So will he be prepared to take 150 grand a week at West Ham?
yeah, we know.
Mm.
We will see.
Next up, it's the old Bicester Hammer. Evening, chaps. It's Grant Cruxford. Because he lives in Bicester, people. See, and he talk like that funny. Which ain't that far from Redditch, where I was in the weekend. And they talk funny as well, but in a funny, different way. Oh, in tribute to the relegation dogfight we find ourselves in, what is the largest animal you think you could beat in a fight? Moise out, Sullivan out, Brady out.
Brady out, Moyes out, Sullivan out, everyone out. Biggest animal.
Biggest animal you could beat in a fight.
Go with John first. I want to hear what he says.
Biggest animal I could beat in a fight, a cat.
You wouldn't beat a cat.
I wouldn't beat a
You wouldn't
cat.
get near a cat.
I remember being in a flat with Sean once, and who did it attack, Sean? Was it you or your missus?
What, the mad cat?
Yeah, in our old flat.
Yeah.
Just basically come up and just really sort of just like fist punched it all over about 10 times around the face.
Hang on,
Yeah.
don't tell stories like that. The cat brigade will come along.
Who did the punching? Sean or you, John?
No, the cat.
Oh, the cat.
Yeah.
The cat attacked who? Sean.
Yeah, was it you, Sean, or was
I
it
don't
your
know. I
mum?
can't remember.
Come on,
This is
tell
what I
us.
mean. You wouldn't beat a
Just
cat.
went mad. It just like come
I
up.
don't
and just
think
like,
I'd beat any animal anyway, but
How about you, Nigel?
I've done a cat.
I've done a cat.
I've done a
have you,
cat. I
eh?
bet you have.
I'll tell you, I've done it in the bins and all. I'll tell you, like, come at me. When I lived on my own, I was 19, I moved out. And I lived in a flat on the Isle of Dogs, down by the mud chute. And I was just dating my wife then. And she bought me a cat, like, to keep me company, so Lucifer. So,
I wasn't a fucking good start, was it?
well, that was the name of the cat, right? If you remember, in Cinderella, Disney film. So it was good enough for Disney, mate. It was good enough for me.
Why would you name your cat after Cinderella cat?
Well, 'cause it's
The,
like
the
Lucifer,
fucking
it's
football
good
stickers are bad enough. What are you
Well.
fucking...
anyway,
Which is Cinderella for?
so it was a flat cat, yeah. So it never left home, but then it did leave home, didn't it? And it got the taste, but it didn't come back for about a week. So I'm looking for it, and then I found it down by the bins. But it's now guarded by 4 other cats, so it's a bit feral now. So I'm like
Right.
calling it, Luce, come on, and she's just sitting there. And I thought, right, I've got to go into the bin store, pick her up. So I've walked into the bin store, and the cat's gone, fuck off out of it. Cat's scarpered. This one decides to have a fight with me. So he rears up, and I backed away. And I stood there looking at it. He's like, you know, they rear up like that, spitting at me. And then I realised that I'm 5'10" and that cat ain't. And I walked in and fucking booted it across the
Oh,
thing.
you can't do that. You
Picked my
can't say
fucking cat
that.
up. Mate, that cat wants a fight, I'll give it a fight.
Hang on a minute.
I
you
ain't
can't-
having my
oh,
cat.
Oh,
My
my God.
God.
If the women's football thing got us in trouble, this will get us in trouble.
Listen, it's 1989. Let the people prove
my
it.
God.
Anyway,
Look, all the old DJs, it hasn't stopped them being arrested.
my
for what they
cat
did in the
was
70s.
never the same. I must admit, I don't know what that bastard done to my cat.
We
but
apologise to all
anyway.
cat lovers.
I don't listen. The cat wants a fight. I'll give it a fight.
Fucking hell, I'll tell you what. If
say
you're
a
a fucking
manatee.
Cinderella fan, my money's on the cat.
Right, I think we should move on. Because this is...
No other
Yeah,
animals.
this is
you wanna
fucking
take them?
ain't going well, is it?
No.
No, don't bother me, mate. Anyway,
You have to be sent for rehabilitation like Zuma.
is it? Right, there you go.
It's a
Yeah,
West
but
Ham thing.
but to be fair, Zuma was kicking his own cat, wasn't he? See, that's wrong, isn't it? I didn't
Oh,
kick
you
my own
kicked
cat.
someone else's cat.
Well, the cat wanted it. I'll give it.
Oh, God. All right, move on.
Take my cat and have your wicked way with it. All she wanted to do was get out.
All right,
after that.
move on.
There you go. Mark Bright. He's had a break from Palace, director of football. He's over at West Ham. Evening, gents. He says, I refer you to Sean's article, which is a Twitter, actually. Please discuss this. Is he being serious? How does Moyes not know how to use a proven
Yeah,
Premier
we've
League
discussed this,
striker?
haven't we?
He can't
Great
manage,
shows,
Mark.
This is about
Everyone
Danny.
else.
Everyone out. He can't manage. Just fire him. Fire him tonight.
In some ways, I just think he's on a wind up, maybe.
Oh, don't make me drop the C-bomb again.
Anyway. Next up, we'll tune into episode whatever it was, 40 something.
45.
45, thank you, Sean.
Talk
Mark.
that. Should upload that.
There you go. Next up, it's Bob's Full House.
Hey.
I think we'll call you the Monk from now on. So Bob the Monk House says he was too late with this question last week. So rather than write a new one, in this green age, he's recycled it.
Do you think we beat Southampton?
Which is quite good because he says, are non-renewers the new vegans? As in, I've never asked, but they will always tell you. If people are not going to renew, why do they keep feeling the need to tell the world?
That is
Brady
true.
and Moyes.
Brady and Moyes out.
That is true,
So,
actually.
Jay, are you vegan?
Well, no fucking cunts ever fucking talk you back into eating meat, are they? Like you. Fucking hell, I would have left by now if it weren't for you.
There you go, mate. I've still got hope for next season.
John, who was the
Fucking
guy?
you.
Who was the fireman we used to know that when we used to go to the bowling ground? Every game, we go, that's my last season. Andy,
Yeah.
wasn't it? He'd go, that's my last season. I'm never going.
Actually-
And every season he renewed.
Yeah.
I did have vegan sausages today for lunch. Because I told, as I said yesterday, I have to try a plant-based diet.
And to be honest, you did say you weren't going to renew last season.
Yeah, I did. And I wish I did.
And we talked him round.
Yeah, we did talk him round.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I think you need us. I think I think secretly you need us. You need us.
Nah.
And we need you to keep coming.
Yeah.
I'm stuck with him
You can
otherwise.
see I'm not happy.
I know, but
It's not
You-
about
listen.
happiness.
you have
Obviously
to
not
support
with
us.
Moyes.
Well, what I would say to you is, why not come to the supporters club and just sit in there?
Yeah, that's it. Just
No,
go-
they shut it.
Do they?
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, you have to leave.
Yeah.
Are you sure that's true?
I'm pretty sure of it.
That's bad.
Otherwise I would.
Come down,
pretty
sit in
sure.
a pub and watch it in a pub. And we can come in the pub and then we'll come and see you after in the pub.
Yeah, that's doable.
You just
Only on
ain't got to come
Saturday
to the
games,
game.
isn't it?
But then, you're still sort of, I don't know. Then you think to yourself, oh, I might as well get a ticket. That's
Don't
how it
make-
starts. This is what you're doing. You're doing it again.
Yeah.
You think I'm not getting it? Trying, just nudge me into the vicinity of it.
What are you going to do? You're
I'm
going to
not-
sit
I
indoors
told ya.
with a cleaner. all
You can
Sat-
paint. You've got loads of time to
at, least,
paint.
at least you get out of the house.
You
for
can
a few
paint my
hours.
kitchen.
Don't
if
want
you
to get out of the house.
You need to, otherwise you'll be a shut-in.
I want to be a shut-in.
One day, the
What's the matter with you?
The fire
Every
brigade
time
will
I
have
leave
to
the house,
remove
it's just
the
horrible.
windows and get a crane to get you out if you don't come out.
I'm not your kind of shut-in.
You can come and paint a mural on the front of my shed, I'll let you.
No,
What
don't
do you
paint
mean?
murals.
Bit of street art.
No, it's not my thing.
I tell you what, one of our season ticket holders has got a bit of a gammy leg. His name's Keith, and we were thinking maybe we get him a disabled ticket. And if we do that, because I know he listens, he's one of our 8 listeners. We've been looking for a carer. You could be his carer.
Me?
Yeah, you get him for free as a carer.
Only
You,
the missus.
you push the wheelchair.
Would you go for nothing?
Yeah.
Don't think I would. I don't want to let Keith down, no.
No, don't let Keith down. Someone
Doing it again,
He
isn't
likes to drop a Guinness as well, Keith.
He does. Do you know what? Flash
What?
news. He managed to get a pint of bitter, or ale, whatever it is, in the West Stand
Wow.
at half time at the Heineken bar.
He's
I
drinking
kid you
Guinness and bitter, mixing his drink.
Yeah.
He had 2 pints of Guinness in the sports club.
Well, he had real ale at half time. John, are you coming back? Keith had real ale at half time.
It'll
So-
only be there for this week, though, won't it?
So if the makers of Madry made real ale, would that
What?
be like real ale Madry?
We.
There you go, people. There's a beer joke for you. You're not vegan though, are you, Jane? To be fair.
No.
No. But very funny, Bob.
I am today.
All right, yeah, today.
So
Next
far.
up, it's our mate from the 70s. It's Jason, back to the 70s house. Evening, gents. He says, I'm currently hobbling around on crutches after fracturing my knee.
Oh, there you go, another
Ouch.
carer.
So not going to games. Lucky you can go to games, mate. You get yourself a train, get on a disability bus, and you hobble yourself along. So once again, Moyes manages to win a must-win or he's sacked game and survives. This is, I think, that's him in the job for the rest of the season. Jason agreed with me that Paqueta was the best player, winning his tackles, and something none of us expected to see from a Brazilian midfielder, I'm sure. Quick on that, we didn't speak about Paqueta's lovely bit of skill where he managed to miss the ball and fall over.
Didn't see it.
Didn't see it?
No, I missed that bit.
Did you see it, Sean?
Someone told me about it. I didn't remember seeing it myself.
Took an air
Right
shot,
in
did
front
he?
of you, Sean. It was
I know,
sort
but I don't remember it. But someone did
Oh,
mention
we'll have
it.
to find it, mate. It was one of them where you think, I bet West Ham don't clip that. You know how they love a Ben Rama spin when he like spins the ball and plays it through the geezer's leg and then crosses it for a goal kick. You know, it was like so. It was almost like, yeah, that's so Brazilian or West Ham Brazilian, bit of skill. Went to flick the ball and totally missed it and fell on his arse. And I think that's how he probably injured his ribs, to be fair. Anyway, Jason has got a good question. He said, I saw this week Wenger and Fergie were inducted into the Managers' Hall of Fame. Who out of our history of managers would you like to see in there? I will caveat this,
dead.
though. This was the Premier League.
Sam Allardyce.
So,
You're in a
Yeah,
you're
I'll
in
have
a good
Allardyce.
league, aren't you?
so out of our Premier League managers, ignoring them two, Sean, would you like to see inducted into the Premier League?
Well, it's got to be Johnny Lyle. And
No,
it's
Premier League.
Did
Oh, in
you
the
not
Premier
listen
League.
to the fucking question?
Right, Premier League. Well, Harry Redknapp.
How many managers have managed West Ham in the Premier League?
I don't know, about 7.
7.
Is it? I don't know. And Alan Pardew.
Okay.
There you go. There's my 2.
I would hazard a guess at 11.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I'm
Who
thinking.
are you
Maybe
choosing
12. Best manager we've had in the Premier League. I'd go Harry. Pardew was good for a season, wasn't he? So technically,
then? Who
Moyes
else are
has
you going
done
to put
better.
there? I mean,
Well, they're right. I mean, if I list the managers, Billy Bonds had a season in the Premier League. Then
Yeah,
you
you're
had
not going to pick
Harry.
him.
Then you had Glenn Roeder, well, you ain't having
Yeah,
him,
you
are
ain't
you?
having him. Adrian
Um,
Grant, yeah, I'm having him.
then you had
Zola.
Pardew, you had Kirbishley, you had Zola, then you
Zola.
had Avram Grant, then we went to...
You're not having Pellegrini.
No.
You're not having Bilic, although he
I
was
don't know.
25.
Bilic had a good
Bilic
season.
had one good season.
Yeah, but Hall of Fame.
No. So really,
None of them
Harry.
getting in.
Harry.
At least Pardew
No,
got to the
fuck Harry.
final.
Yeah, but that's the FA Cup
It's
final,
not
not the
the
Premier League,
League
Sean.
Premier League, is it?
I understand, but in the
Well,
the
no, I
same
don't think you
season,
do. It's Premier League Hall of Fame. Getting an FA Cup final has got fuck all to do with it.
Still got to have a good team.
Well, Wigan went down and won the FA Cup. Would you say they had a good team? Would you put Roberto Martinez in the Premier League Hall of Fame for doing that then?
Whatever.
I'm not sure Jason did ask a good question in the end.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Don't think any of them deserve to be in there.
No, I mean, if you go in all time, Hall of Fame, who would you have? You got to pick one manager to put in the West Ham Hall of Fame. There's only
John Lyle.
John Lyle.
I think you have to put Ron Greenwood in there. You know.
I mean, it's him or them, you know.
Yeah.
They want to win a European trophy.
I'd just go probably Greenwood, to be honest. Didn't relegate us. Contentious.
Cool, I've got some fuck. No, I better not say it.
Wait till later. Yeah. Next up, it be all Dardsy.
Hello, my handsome.
All right, my handsome.
Have we got a review? We've got our first review.
No, we got no review. Have we no away days there. We've not been away. Have we?
Oh, right.
It was at home.
He don't
even
do
though-
that anymore.
Yeah, we
Why,
do.
why didn't he come to the?
Holiday ramble.
Why
I
didn't he
did
come to
point
the
that out to him, and he didn't answer.
social club? I thought he was somewhere
He was
else.
too late. He was running too late. He rang me.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
He kept the job up, did he? Got his money's worth.
Parked in Kew. I don't know why. Why would you park in Kew Gardens? Which is pretty much.
Well,
in...
maybe that's where she lives.
Ooh.
Perhaps that's what it was. Perhaps it was former Kew
There was a
Gardens.
queue.
Yeah. He got sloppy fourths.
Shocking.
Anyway.
Why to get a discount for that?
His wife listens to this podcast.
No, she don't.
Roxanne, you don't need to put on the red light. Anyway, 3 points is the most important thing. Dodsey don't partake of that in this country anyway. He waits till he goes abroad. 3 points is the most important thing. Well, that and David Moyes realising that Danny Ings is not a lone striker and he's more dangerous in the penalty box. I want you all to say, hallelujah, praise the Lord. If the answer is David Moyes is a football genius, what the hell is the question?
How do you know that you? How do you tell someone that you're being held hostage?
Without telling them you're being held
Yeah.
hostage. Yeah. Okay. Sean's would be Brady out.
Brady out. Yeah, exactly.
What would you say, John? How would you convince people you was being held kidnapped by the Moonies without giving their game away? What would you be your...
So you'd have to say I love David Moyes. Maybe then people realise there's something wrong.
Or start singing a Duran Duran song.
Keep talking, Sean.
Keep Talking was a Pink Floyd song.
Or was it? Oh, I don't listen to them load of old rubbish.
Oh,
Oh,
fucking hell! I'll put.
dear.
Do you know? I've just put your fucking Smiths painting right back to the queue.
Yeah, too right.
Load of
Someone
old
texted me
rubbish.
and actually agreed with me what a fantastic painting that would be. I'll have you know. Another listener of the show. And
Maybe
friend
we
of
should
the
do
show.
a Pink Floyd. Roger Waters, maybe.
Roger Waters.
Money, as they say. Did you notice last week Williams and Nolan boycotted your show and Question Time for the first time at a protest of Sean not being on? Any thoughts on that? No. Len, last week
Yeah.
you said about painting until 3 in the morning because you lose track of time outside.
Well, I
of where
said
you
playing
live
Football
now.
Manager till 3 in the morning, but
Yeah.
it has been
It's-
known me to paint at 3 in the morning.
Unfortunately, Dodsey and Grammar. I did tell him to download Grammarly, but there should have been like a comma there, Dods. It says, because you lose track of time, outside of where you live now, where would you like to move to be a recluse and
Yeah.
paint for the rest of your life?
Right. Where would I like to live?
He recommends St Ives in Cornwall.
Very nice.
Do you know
yeah.
what? I was just thinking that. Cornwall.
Apparently, the people of Cornwall are sort of getting a bit fed up with people moving down there.
On my way to St Ives, I met a
Yeah.
man with 7 wives. The 7 wives had 7 cats. The 7 cats had 7 rats.
Funny enough, people in East London are getting fed up with people moving into East London, but we're not allowed to say that anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, fuck the people in
But
Cornwall.
if you're
That's
from
what I
Cornwall,
say.
you're allowed to say it.
Yeah, no.
don't they have
I
their
mean,
own
they
flag
wanted
and want
independence, didn't they, when I was a
they
kid?
did. Yeah.
Listen, when I was little, the Isle of Dogs tried to declare independence. and if
They
you
made a
think
film
that's
about
bonkers,
that, didn't they?
they actually barricaded themselves off and actually elected their own prime minister. That's how they were on the island.
They did make a film of that, I think.
Did they?
Yeah, I think there was.
It was quite. It was one of them where when I lived on the island, my mate's mum told me the story. You know, and you think, yeah, you're having me on, and it was true because they were a bit funny there, the outsiders. I drank in a pub there once, and the geezer come up to me and went, "You're not from round here, mate." And I looked at him and went, "What?" He said, "You're not from round here. You're an outsider." I said, "I'm from Canning Town." He went, "Yeah, but you're not off the island, are you?" I went, "It's only a mile up the road." He went, "Yeah, but you're an outsider, aren't you? You're not from the island."
He's
Well,
right,
got
though,
you
wasn't
there,
he?
didn't he?
Well, he was. I
Yeah.
thought he was going to lump me, but then family that I knew shouted out to him and said, "He's with us." And he went, "Oh, sorry, mate." Tapped me on the shoulder, "I'll leave you alone," and walked off. There you go.
I don't think I can beat Cornwall.
It's good for painting. You know why?
Yeah.
No, it's the blue sky. It's the sky's bluer in Cornwall. It's a known fact.
All right.
And it
Ain't
makes
I'm painting
the light.
portraits.
Ain't a painting podcast, though, is it?
More's a pity.
Yeah.
Will be next year.
Dodsey then says, "I can confirm, but only Dodsey can confirm this, nobody else. I've never frequented any of the said areas." He said, "Reference, what can I recommend on your way trips, in particular to certain lights of the red colour?" He then says, "However, in Frankfurt, we did walk through it very quickly when a gentleman of the night stood on the door and asked one of the lads who travels with me if he wanted favours for 15 quid.
Yeah.
The bloke had no teeth in his mouth, so he could have..."
Well, I stayed in the red light district. That's why I got a cheap hotel. I only worked that
Sean,
out.
Sean got him to wash the car. What's the
Can
tester?
we not clip that where Sean says, "I stayed in the red light district
Well, I
where I
did,
got
I
a cheap,"
stayed.
and then we'll just fill in the blank.
Not and next to a drug hostel as well.
Oh.
So I had people injecting themselves with heroin on one side. On the other side was a red light district offering blowies for 25 euros or
That'd be a
whatever.
great
Did
blank
your
in blank.
did your one have teeth in?
I didn't partake.
No, it's changed it.
All right. Makes a change.
John, you know that's not true.
Yeah, don't tell him how sausages are made, John. Hey. Oh, dear. It's all
dear.
coming out now.
That was a
Back to
good
our
question.
beefer. Brady
Who's
out.
next? Brady out.
Next up, Anthony Collins with a G.
Right.
Evening, lads. He says, as Nigel mentioned, attack has been our problem this season. But how much is that down to the tactics as opposed to our defence being strong? In other words, if we were to get an attack-minded manager, do you think our defence could cope? Or would it switch the problem to us conceding too many goals?
Why would that be the case?
Goals are fun. I imagine with Deckers in front of the back four, we'd be fine this season. But next season, I can't see Souček coping. Brady,
I can't see coping this season.
Yeah, it's
We
a
don't.
good point actually. We've got one of the best defences outside. the
Yeah,
top
why don't we
six.
put any pressure on him? But say every week for a year.
Yeah,
Why the hell do we need Souček?
That is a tough one.
Doesn't matter. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I'm not renewing next year.
Yeah.
Bet you will.
And you had vegan sausages for
Yeah, and I
lunch.
have vegan sausage.
You say
for lunch.
that, I bet you will. We'll talk you around. We
Yeah,
manipulate
Good luck
you.
with that.
Oh, so
We manipulate.
genuinely, right? How can Moyes, if he stays and when he stays, how do we change from a team that gives up possession and doesn't score goals to a team? How can he change his tactics? What would he need to do to
Very
actually?
easy, John.
For starters, how does he retain more possession?
Johnny, it's easy. If you look at Villa, they play like a 4-4-2. 2 banks of 4 gives you strength. It does.
Well, I
because
think as
people
well.
are covered. You can play 4-4-1-1 if you want.
Yeah.
So you could have a free runner playing behind.
Behind
so in
the
which
striker,
case you would have Ings, and you could have like one of the 3 players, like either Pablo or Lanzini or even Ben Rama playing behind him, and then have your 2 wide players. You have 1 sitting central defender, and you'd have Paquetá there. So you could have Rice or Souček or Flynn Downs with Paquetá, Bowen out wide right, left winger take your pick. Probably you'd stick with Benny. I'd go with Fornals or Lanzini or Antonio even sitting there.
Remember Cornet?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, well, yeah, but Cornet, I'd have as a right back because
You
he
have
would.
the left wingers and right back.
Well, yeah, but it's inverted, isn't it? That's the fashion now, isn't it? I think
Right, okay. You
Inversions.
thought about this a lot.
I did. Yeah,
So it can
But
be
yeah, but
done then. So
you'd
why
have
can't
Emerson.
Moyes do it?
yeah. Well, because he's stubborn,
Well, that's just beyond me.
overcautious, isn't he? Brady out.
Brady
says Anthony.
out. Yes, he is overcautious and fucking dull.
Paul Turner. I will read it out.
I knew this was coming.
Last week's pod. Sorry, Nigel. What a bore. Had to turn it off when the bloke mentioned he went for a bike rides down the Greenway.
The first thing I thought of when
Didn't
you took
say
out the Greenway.
Bike rides. He said he went for a run, Paul, if you listened properly. And I did pull him up that it weren't called the Greenway. We call it the sewer bank. There you go. It's good to have you all back, though. But don't leave Nigel to do podcasts alone. It becomes too much of an history lesson. But, Paul, listen, it's West Ham. It's 2 words. And you, of all people, should know better. West Ham, as you call it, is a town in Sussex. Down
Paul
by
wouldn't come on and do
Eastbourne.
propaganda, would he?
I tell you what, you want to get him talking, mate. He would be brilliant on a podcast, funny enough. I'd have to get him on.
I don't think he's happy.
No, all he does is go, don't watch these people. Don't listen to these people. You should have seen what I heard the other day. Anyway. Evening, gents, says Keithy Sandy Beach. It's sandy here, he says.
Really?
He said he loved lens painting of Jimi Hendrix. I think you need to
A
plug
lot of
some of your
people did,
paintings
thank
at
you.
the end. He
Yeah,
said,
well, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Don't forget.
Do you
That's what we
know, I wanted to do another one. What I'm going to try and do, I'm going to try and have one ready for the podcast to show you all.
All right.
It's easier said than done, of course, because, well, we just don't get the time. Well, they all change. That day's football. That it really.
There you go. So he's got a music-based question as well.
Great.
He said, my question is, if you could have a backstage pass with VIP access to a show by any artist group, who would it be? For me, it would be Eric Clapton.
Oh, I like
Then
Slow Hand.
Other does a painting of him, I'd defo be interested.
I'm definitely going to. I've already got the image somewhere that I'd like to paint. I like Slow Hand.
Do
If
the
you
one
haven't-
of him. The best image of him for me is, I think it's the one where he's leaning back and he's playing the guitar and it's like just lit up by the light.
Right.
Be a
And
black
narrows it
white
down.
one. Yeah,
Is that the one that's on the cover of I Shot the Sheriff?
I believe it is. Yeah.
Have you seen Life in 12 Bars? Best
Um,
documentary I've ever seen.
Is that the one? No, the one I saw of his was Crossroads. So, I I think it
I'm
came out
wondering.
4 or 5 years ago. I'd watched one
I'm
recently.
wondering
'Cause
if that's it. But
it might have been.
there
yeah.
was an issue with the name. I think that might be the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was fantastic. And it finishes lovely with his girls, and he's with his daughters, isn't he? I remember seeing his little boy come on stage at the Albert Hall. That was a bit. When you look back and think of that, such a shame. But what he was brilliant. I used to love him at the Albert Hall.
Yeah.
Walked him for nothing once. That was a fantastic gig. That was. Used to love the Albert Hall. You could just walk in the door while they were searching the women's handbags, and no one would stop you. Where would you go? VIP access backstage, John.
Beatles.
Beatles for Len. John.
I'm a Floyd man before the Beatles.
Pink. What? Really?
Yeah, I love Floyd. Really.
What, Mayweather or what? What Floyd? What? The chef Floyd?
Of the Pink, the
with the
Pink
Pink
Persuasion.
Oh, the Pink Floyd.
And I like Roger Waters in solo stuff, but yeah, Pink Floyd. I've got loads of fucking music's
See, I thought you'd have gone
big
like.
for me.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You know, someone decent.
He did say someone
Better of you.
decent.
That's pretty better of you.
Well, if someone says the Beatles, I was like, I like the Beatles, yeah, but give me the choice, I'd rather have Floyd. So
Only as in. What about backstage?
well, yeah,
Because I'm not sure the Beatles is the best answer for backstage. I'm trying to think. I don't know how to answer the question. You know me. I don't really hobnob and run shoulders.
It's typical. Sean, is he there? Is he?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, that photograph you got of me that you can never ever reproduce or break your fucking legs
Yeah.
was backstage at Metallica.
So you say.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
was that was great. That was Metallica. I don't know, but if I was choosing to go backstage, I suppose it would be Morrissey.
Fucking hell, but he's
did you go and
lovely.
see him? He was playing recently. Did you go and see him?
Well, he's a friend of mine has tricked me the wink. He's coming to Stepney. I saw him when he played there last time, the Troxy, and he's coming in July. So I will be texting said friend later to say, let's go. Though I've got to check the dates because I might be on holiday. Actually, I'm in holiday in July, so I need to check. But yeah, he's not what he was.
Who is?
Rolling Stones, actually. If I'm picking in their heyday, I'd probably go to Rolling Stones. Backstage.
Here's
I
what
bet
you
that was
want
fun.
at your backstage experience.
You want a bit of life, innit?
Guys, let's bring it back to West Ham, guys.
No, he
Let's
just you
keep
asked the question. I've got.
All right, Matty Kemp talking of music. It's Spandau Ballet's roadie. Obviously
Really?
not touring anymore because they don't talk to each other. But anyway, well,
Right.
the Kemps do. It's just that.
Make
other
it a
one.
good question.
It says, evening, gents. He's got a question. He
Good.
said, who would you say was West Ham's best ever player and worst you have seen? He's gone, overall time, it'd be Bobby Moore's the best player. Yes, that's
But
before...
has he seen him?
No, that's before my time, though.
Right.
So for him, it's going to be Paolo with Payet second. And for the worst, it's got to be Roberto McKnight or Gary Breen. But it's going to go to Alan McNightmare, Brady out.
Brady out.
So, Sean, you first then, so we don't give you any tips.
Go on.
Best player, worst player?
Of what era? Sorry.
Any
Your era.
Your era.
Best player.
Last
You've
7
seen.
years for you, really, didn't it?
Dimitri Payet. Last 7 years, if we're going last 7
No,
years.
go on, your era. What?
My era?
Yeah.
Well, Paolo Di Canio, probably. Worst player?
Yeah.
Well, it's quite a lot of them. Kieran Dyer, Savio, Mido. I mean, take your pick.
I might go with Savio.
Mido.
I don't think Savio was actually a footballer.
Nor do I. I don't think he played, did he?
He
There
had a
you go.
couple of run-outs, yeah.
Di Canio and
Mido.
the Egyptian Wonder King.
Go on, Jay. Go on.
Savio, I think, been worse. I'm trying to think who the best might be. Trev, I think. No, I'm giving it to Dev.
No,
I'll
that's
give it
where
to
I was
Dev.
going. He was my favourite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
giving it
Yeah,
to Dev.
he used to get me off my
Yeah,
seat.
that's
the
it.
most.
That's what I'm thinking.
Dev.
Dev.
What about you worst, John?
It's like Sean said. What about Roger the Relegator?
He was all right, I thought, at the end.
He backpedaled with the best.
He
He
had a
used
few
to
games.
backpedal.
He had a few games.
He was a
all right.
backpedaler.
He mastered the art of running backwards.
You know, we just had something about Nigel Quasi. He didn't have a good little. It's just,
Yeah.
we've had a
It's funny, Ad. Why is it that the list of worst trips off the tongue?
God, didn't it?
Yeah.
More?
Who's yours then, Nigel?
Well, it's a tough one because there's two. So the most skillful player would be Paolo, but absolute all-time idol, I'd go Frankie Mac.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one that it just gave me so much, that one, just for one season.
Well, I would
Realistically.
say Tony Cottee. I was a massive fan of Tony Cottee.
just for
wasn't
one
the most
season.
skillful, but
I don't like to pick the worst, but the worst, if I'm going to do it, and the worst game, worse than Roberto.
yeah, we forgot Roberto, didn't we?
Worse than him.
the
And his
the question had.
Oh,
Roberto.
Sassuilic.
Sassuilic. You had to be there to see, and it came. I think it was the game after the 5-4 Bradford, which, if you remember, 5-4 Bradford, Shaka got his leg broken, and they brought Bywater in off the bench. Bywater had a bit of a mare, but we overcome it. 5-4, we won. I think it was 0-0 when Shaka went off. Yeah. So Harry, in his wisdom, went out and got Sassuilic, who wasn't playing for Charlton. Got him in on loan. He played one game. We got beat 4-0 by Everton. And it is the worst goalkeeping. It was worse than Roberto at Burnley, people. And
And if
that's
anyone
without
knows
doubt.
bad goalkeeping, it's you.
Yeah, listen, I've been there. I've done. Listen, and this is people could go. Oh, was you any good, Nigel? Yeah. When I played on Wanstead Flats, yeah, I was fucking mustard, wasn't I?
Yeah.
You know, like all the best keepers play on Wanstead Flats.
Yeah,
don't
they
they?
do.
Fucking hell. Of course I was shit. That's why I was playing on Wanstead Flats.
Yeah.
The brain had it, the hands and feet didn't. But anyway,
According to Matty Law in the Daily Telegraph,
yeah.
West Ham would consider approaching Graham Potter in the summer when David Moyes' position is reviewed. It's not what I've heard, but each their own.
Yeah.
Why
I think
spoil a
we'll
good
think that, don't
story?
we? I don't think we're going to be his best off,
But he hasn't got the computer algorithm.
Don't care.
Algorithm. That's the chief scout of Brighton, isn't it?
Algorithm.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Anyway, Jeffrey L. Smith. Who I think we found
Still
out
with us,
means
John?
Lee.
Still awake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evening, he says, you lovely people. West
Evening.
Ham, 2 words, thank you, Jeff, have more Premier League goal scorers than any other club. Can you name
Do we
them all?
really?
West
What?
Ham have had more Premier League goal scorers than any other
This
club.
season.
He doesn't say.
Got to be. Yeah, we have had more goal scorers. Well,
Individual goal scorers.
yeah.
Have we really?
It can't be of all time.
Considering all 10 of Brighton's outfield players had 2 shots on target in one game.
That's incredible,
I'd
isn't it?
be-
That's
I'd
an
be
incredible
very-
stat.
That is a
Well,
fantastic.
top of the Premier League is Bowen. I assume.
Antonio,
Is
isn't
it? Is it Bowen?
What, Premier League goal scorers?
This season,
Well, it's,
I don't
it'd
think
be
it is
3,
Bowen.
wouldn't it?
or is
Who's
it,
our
is it
top goal
Ben
scorer?
Rama?
And is it not 5?
Someone's
That's
got
a
to Google it.
Go
I'd
and have a
say
look,
it's-
Sean. You're the
So
goal booker.
it says here. I'm just looking top scorers. Don't know if this is Premier League. Bowen 9, Antonio 8, Benrahma 7. These are all competitions. Gamaka 6, Fornals 4, Declan Rice 2, Paquetá 2, Emerson 2, Lanzini 2, Ings 2.
How many
Souček
Skamaka
1.
got?
Skamaka's got 6. Mbappa
Well, that
1,
ain't
Dawson
Premier
1,
League.
Aguerd 1, and Zuma 1.
Right, I'll tell you. Premier
But
League.
that is not Premier League. That is all competitions.
Right, so Premier League. Antonio has got 3. Rama's got 4. Bowen's got 4. God, I didn't know it was this bad. Fornals has got 1. Danny Ings has got 2.
Yeah.
Emerson's got 1. Paqueta's got 2.
Paquetá.
Declan Rice has got 2. Skamaka's got 3. Zuma's got 1 and Souček's got 1. Our top goal scorer has got
Awful.
4 goals.
Benrahma?
And Bowen.
Yeah.
Bowen's got 10 in all comps.
Yeah.
That is atrocious.
Yeah.
Atrocious. Oh, there you go.
We should get rid of our manager.
Question for Sean: can you name 5 correct pronunciation? Oh, can you name? Oh well, he's googled it. He was asking you to name the scorers. So in the Premier League, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different goal scorers. Oh, Brady out. Next up,
Brady out.
it's our good friend, top man, Ian Wiley. Love to you, Ian. And I mean that. Keep going, mate.
Go on, Ian.
Yeah, good luck.
Hi, all. He says, poor performance, but superb 3 points. Great header from a Gerd too, or guard, or whatever we want to call him. Maybe he's the new Ballon d'Or son.
Apparently he's wanted by Spurs in the summer.
Oh, right.
Well,
the
they ain't got a
paper
manager. How can it happen?
Well, it was in the paper today. It must be true.
Ian says, Newcastle look good against Mount Scum. Let's hope they worn themselves out, because we need a point from that one. With the Betway sponsorship contract going to run its course, which it will for sure, according to the person I know, maybe they will be retained for other things still, but not the front of shirt. If you all had a choice of a new shirt sponsor,
Yeah.
who would you have? And you can repeat old ones.
CanYouTellLen.com.
Shirt sponsor. Sean, who you going?
Tesla.
Tesla.
He is.
I think
Of course he is.
actually Tesla would be a great fit. The Tesla Stadium, Tesla. I think that would be a great, great global brand.
Don't you think it's not really because there's sort of like a lack of electricity at the stadium?
No, they're putting solar membranes on the. It's going to be carbon neutral by 2030. I think it's a great fit. Tesla,
Well, it's fan base neutral at the moment.
SpaceX, so it could be a little bit of, and Twitter.
Carbon
It's a
neutral.
match made in heaven. Or we could just call it Elon Musk Fan Club.
Okay. So you're not digressing now then?
No. All right,
that's
so I'll go back. Tesla.
John, who you going?
I don't know. I've just watched Michael Caine just score. Has anyone watching the football as well as doing
No.
this? No.
No.
Who's
Oh.
playing?
Everton's just equalised in the 91st minute.
Oh. I'm not sure we
Yeah.
wanted that, did we?
I don't know how it affects
I don't
anything
know, I
particularly.
You-
We're surviving on our own merit, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently.
Can't,
Well, I'm
can't
not
worry
bothered
about
about
people
Everton.
around us, can we?
Anyway, Southborough Building Services, I'll put on their shirt as my company.
Your company.
All right. I don't think they'd have bowling security, but it don't exist anymore. I don't know. Avco. Can't beat the first, can you? In the
Are
original.
they still going?
No, of course they're not. They're long gone.
Are they?
Dagenham Motors.
Funny about that. Window companies. Was it window company?
Back as champions.
BAC, back as champions.
Was
Even
Avco
that we failed.
you know what happened to window companies? They sort of go bust and then rise again, don't they?
Yeah.
BAC,
Phoenix.
I believe you can still find on the Eastern Avenue. I think they've got something else as well. I think they kept part of the BAC name.
It does make me laugh, right? When you look at the advertising hoardings, the LED ones at the London Stadium, right? You expect to see all the big brands. It's like Alf skip hire, drain clearage. The kind of low level sponsorship that they get. You know what I mean on the second level.
Yeah.
It
But
makes you laugh.
But this is
They're
the
not
thing.
paying a lot. They must be paying a few £100, and they get.
Is the fan base perception of West Ham totally alien to the standing of the football club in the football world?
I know. What do you mean by that?
Well,
Are you saying do we think we're
without
bigger than
going
we
into
are?
a debate me and John had, is West Ham a big club or are the fan base?
Well, are you asking is West Ham a big brand?
No. Is West Ham a big club in the
Define
football
big.
Oh, are we a big club?
You can't define
Well,
it.
you have to define big. So big is right.
Fan
so
base or
if you're talking about turnover, then yes, we are a big club. We're one of the biggest turnovers in the whole world. If you're talking about
Believe it or
fan
not.
base, we've got
I'm
1
talking
million
about in the
people.
Premier League, Sean. I'm
We've
not
got-
talking about round the
Well,
world.
you do. That's why I said define it.
Right, in the Premier League, we're a big club.
Right, again, by turnover, ticket sales,
anything.
Well,
When you consider who's in the Premier League
Right.
and us,
Well,
are
if
they
you're talking
generally
about
bigger?
consistent finishes, no, we're not a big club. I think actually David Moyes said it today. Actually, there's not a lot to choose. You've got a few super clubs, and everyone else is
See,
pretty
this
much
is
the
what
same.
makes me laugh because, and it takes me back to something I had with
We're not-
David Gold once. Is where I was going, we're not a big club, and he was going, yes, we are. And me and him went backwards and forwards for like 3/4 of a day. And I said, well,
Now-
what are Man United and Liverpool
But
then? And
this
he
is-
went bigger clubs.
All right,
And you're
but
thinking, well, then
outside
why
the
not?
top six? If you look at size of stadium, amount of revenue,
Yeah,
ticket sales, average attendance,
yeah.
we outside the big six, we're number 7 consistently in all those.
So we're not a big club then.
But if you definitely find big club as consistently finishing in the top 8, no, we're not. Right? So it horses for courses. This
It's a
is
mixture
about,
of things.
This is about spin. So when you're presenting marketing and statistics, depends what your measurement
No,
is.
it's
in
just
a number
like,
of
all right, I'll
measurements.
take it like this. Will the likes of Thomas Tuchel, will the likes of Pochettino, would the likes of Nagelsmann,
No.
yeah?
No.
Would they entertain
Well, then
managing
you
West
should have
Ham?
defined it.
Well,
that
no,
way.
but that is a big
That's
club.
success, but that's success, isn't it? We can compete with money. We gave 180
We
million.
can't compete with
we
money.
can compete with money.
What, we're
Outside
going to pay players
Hang on.
250 grand a week?
Right, outside the top 6.
No.
No, because you
outside
can't
the-
say
No,
that, can
Sean.
you, Sean?
We're the best of the rest. We're
But
not.
then we're not a
Sean,
big
we're
club,
not a
Sean,
big
then.
club, are
Say
we?
it
You
then.
Depends
just
on your
answered that.
definition. We're in the second tier.
That
we're
is not a big club then,
in
because the
second
big
tier,
clubs are the
outside
top 6 then.
If there's 6 of them that are bigger than us,
So
how
then
can
don't
we...
use the word big club. Use the word, are we top 6? The answer is no. Right? So you
Well,
have
no
to be
shit.
clear
We're bottom
in your
6.
definition. The word big club is too generic to
No.
answer that question.
You just don't want to
Because-
answer it.
If you're asking, are we a bigger club?
Get
than
off the fucking fence, Sean, for
AFC
once in your
Wimbledon?
life.
Yeah, we're a bigger club.
Yeah.
But we are. All Premier League teams are big clubs, though, aren't they?
Oh.
Compared, it depends on what your comparison is.
No,
It's
the
a-
comparison is the Premier League, Sean.
The
I've
point
said it
I'm
4
making-
times. In the Premier League, are we
All
a
right,
big
in
club?
the Premier League, we're bigger than most others.
Oh, dear.
It's a stupid question. The
Oh,
word big is
well,
too
no, it
generic.
ain't, because at the end of the day, the best players and the best managers go to the bigger clubs. Are we a big club? Are we in that bracket?
Right.
It's
Well,
a
why can't you
simple
just say,
question.
are we top 6?
No, because it ain't about top 6. Because
Well, it is
Liverpool are
actually.
not top 6.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not. They're sitting 8th or 9th last time I looked. Chelsea.
All
are
right,
Chelsea
but
are
you know
11th.
what I mean.
Well, no, this is what I'm saying, Sean. It ain't about that. It's about...
All right, let me ask you a question. Are Newcastle a big club?
No, not yet.
Right, okay, move on.
All right.
I mean,
Super.
Ancelotti went to Everton. Just saying.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
good point. Well made, John.
If you are a
Money
properly,
talks.
if you are show ambition and you've got something about you, a manager would come there. I think at a certain level. That's why I always thought that if we had proper ownership. When I've always argued that we could get a Pochettino, and then it comes back down to the ownership, and that's where I get stumped because no one wants to come and be managing a team with our ownership, do they? Of any stature, by the looks of things. But it could happen if we had ambition and an ownership that were willing to back the manager. There's only so many elite clubs, aren't there? So they've got to manage somewhere.
So we're a big club, but we're not elite. Is that what you're saying?
We're not an elite club.
No, but we're a big club.
I think
Why not call the elite clubs big clubs then, and us?
What, the Neelys?
Yeah, not so elite.
The Neely elites.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, let's crack on.
Yeah.
Please.
Because we did start late, so we'll run a bit later. Lewis Allen says, good evening, hope you're all well. Massive 3 points, but not a good performance. He said, I
No.
suppose it's result that matters. He says, wondering what we think of Moyes' comments regarding Ings. Well, we did cover that, to be fair, Lou, in the first pod. He says, only just realising these players, I find it amazing. Any football fan will know what Ings is about, and Moyes seems ignorant. Moyes out, Brady out, everyone out.
Everyone out.
Oh, we did love last week's propaganda.
Oh, good.
Go and have a listen, people. I thought Paul was a good sport for coming on last week because I think he knew what he was going to get, even though we sort of went a bit easy on him, which I regret now.
Very
to
easy.
be fair. Because
Very
once
easy.
he said, "Oh, I was expecting it to be a lot harder," I thought, "Damn, blast!" But as I said,
He
to
seemed
Len,
a bit too fragile on the moon. I don't think you could have
yeah,
taken it.
and I said to Len, you should have read what he said about Burnley.
Yeah, I've got to look at that.
I didn't want to put that on him.
You
Anyway,
can still read it out, you know.
yeah, perhaps, yeah. And look out for my book club podcast coming soon.
Oh dear.
Not. Anthony Collins, that was a joke, people, by the way. Anthony Collins without a G says, imagine my surprise on the last pod when, during question time, Nigel read out my name. When the question asker was actually someone called Anthony Collins with a G. In split seconds, Nigel corrected himself. I feared had been hacked, but why would someone hack me just to ask a question about West Ham? He said, anyway, he has got a question. He said, if you could hack anybody, who would it be? And what minor inconvenience would you cause them? Brady out. Sean on mute.
Brady. Let's hack Brady.
What would
She's
we
been
do to
hacked
Brady?
already.
She's
What
been
would we do
hacked
to Brady?
already.
Well, she was hacked by the Spurs gate. Is her phones were Vodafone phone records were hacked. Do you not remember that?
Funny enough.
Yeah, Daniel Levy, wasn't it?
He was allegedly involved, but yeah, it was a PF something.
Oh, that's right. I do remember they named the company. Of course he didn't.
Sorry, what was the question, Nigel?
Who would you hack? What minor inconvenience would you cause them?
Well, it's an illegal thing to do, hacking, and in my position, I wouldn't do it because I shouldn't.
I'd hack you, Sean.
Yeah, you wouldn't find very much.
No, I'll tell you what, I could cause you some embarrassment, though, I bet.
Yeah.
Email Brady, get your tits out,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Email Tara, not you.
Who would I hack? I would hack.
Email Nicola Key, where's my tickets?
Daniel Levy, maybe.
All right.
Get home back.
Ian Gravitt, he said, evening gents, could you please tell us why Souček's been moved back alongside Rice? Saw videos of different teams trying different training methods, more tactical based. So what is to be made of the Steinberg comments regarding the coaching staff all being fed up with Moyes' lack of insight and had to change the status quo? He now says that they're just getting to know what Ings is about. It's not rocket science, is it?
It's not.
Like Sean
No.
Goater, feed the goat and he will score. He says, that doesn't include having to run from our box the entire length of the pitch, beating 6-7 players and putting top corner. Ings isn't Payet or Di Canio. Give him the ball inside the box. And all
Yep.
the crap about Cornet being our saver. Okay, is he avoiding Moisden? Not like he can save us while sat his arse on the bench. No one mentioned that, actually. Was it strange that he
No.
brought Creswell on and not Cornet?
It did seem a bit strange, yeah.
Oh, he's just a miserable man.
Sullivan and
It's
Brady
just,
out.
it's just unimaginative, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
like,
it is. Oh,
like
was,
for
wasn't
like.
he? Yeah.
I'll
Did
just
do
take
that.
like for like.
Fire him. Just fucking fire him.
You know. Ziggy Stardust.
Finally.
Oh,
He's an alligator.
I think I should call him actually Aladdin Sane, maybe. Evening all, he says. Well, a win's a win, but it really didn't look like the bottom two teams trying not to lose. It's not a done deal, but I think we can scrape it up and stay up. He says, having said that, I've got to the point that I'm not that bothered either way, and a small part of me would laugh if we went down and prove our ball are clueless.
See, he's saying
See?
similar to what I'm saying.
Aladdin Sane. See? Given all the sackings this week, who would you swap Dazzling Dave with? Right, you get one choice each. Sean, Dazzling, who are you swapping Moyes for?
What, now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm giving you a chance.
Do they have to be available?
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
He said, with all the sackings, who would you swap Dazzling
Right, yeah.
Dave?
Oh,
so-
well, Brendan Rodgers.
Okay. John?
If it's someone recently sacked, it would be Rodgers, yeah, for me.
Jane?
I'd say fucking Ginger Rogers over fucking Moyes.
Oh, they could team him up with Red Adair and Ginger Rodgers.
Yeah.
Who would I have? Blimey. I'd have Brendan. I think that's a bit harsh. Two fifth places, but they should have been fourth both times, and then winning the FA Cup.
He kind of fell out with the ball in the transfer window, didn't he?
But they
And
didn't buy anyone, did they?
Yeah, he wanted players. They wouldn't
Yeah.
give him any money. It all went downhill from there.
I think Sullivan will give him money. I've never had a problem with Sullivan when it comes to spending money like a lot of people.
No, he spends money. The club
Yeah.
spends money. It's just
Wasting
like
though.
the best players we buy are the bargains.
Tell you
Yeah.
what I'd like in the summer,
Mm.
if we could get him, I'd like Thomas Frank out of Brentford. If we could get him out of there.
Yeah, but could he bring all 12 or 13 of their players with him?
Don't know, he's got something, hasn't he? He must have something.
But so's that De Zerbi, though, isn't he? I mean, if there was an advert for the Premier League, that was it, wasn't it? 3-3, Brentford, Brighton.
Great.
What a
Yeah.
game of
Why
football.
wouldn't you put that as a Sunday game? You know it's going to be great.
Yeah, I don't. Well, look,
fucking
bottom
West
two,
Ham,
yeah, but-
Southampton.
Yeah, well, they got what they asked for, really, didn't they?
Well, we didn't. We wanted a Saturday afternoon kick-off.
Yeah.
We had
I'm not going next year.
100% female commentary on that game as well, Nigel.
Did you?
Yeah. Told Rennie Mudensteins, do you remember him, the old
Oh, yeah.
Man United coach? It's his daughter.
Oh,
I don't know how she gets a job like that. She must have tried really hard to get through it all.
Yeah. I don't know.
They do love giving all the old ex-managers and daughters and things roles, don't they?
Well, it's not who you know. Is it? Well, it is who
Yeah,
you know.
it is what
It's
you
not
know.
what you know. Saying that, the geezer behind me at Redditch United, he was not a fan of women football.
Is he not?
No, his comment was, women football, what's all that? Why do they want to play football? You know, I won't watch it. And I can't see why I should be forced to watch it. And then I'm sitting there thinking, who's forcing you to watch it? And he said, it's like cricket, I won't have it. He won't have it. He went, but I don't mind the tennis because they've always played that. You know, you think, I sat in this seat for 2.5 hours and I didn't move. And I had 7 blokes. And the reason I didn't move, I didn't get up at all, was I think I was in someone's seat where they sit every week. And I thought, I'm going to sit here on purpose now because you lot are boring the fuck out of me. And I hope me sitting here is annoying you because they sat all the way around me. considering it was an half-empty ground. Fucking arseholes. I couldn't live there. That Brummie accent's got to be the worst. Oh no, it's how you doing? Fuck off. All right, Harry. How you getting on? I don't go down the fivers and put 50p on the points. It's £2.50 not drinking in there. Getting the cricketers. Fuck off. Anyway, talking of Northerners. Hey up, gentlemen. It's A.R. Sean.
Whee.
And I tell you what, give me a right Yorkshire accent every day over a Brummie. Aye. Anyway, a welcome 3 points, Sid. But we made half work. Turgid. That's a good word. Southampton were poor, and you could see why this was 19th against 20th. Though it ended up 14th against 20th, though, didn't it? Aye. It says we're 1 point above the relegation zone. Whoopee! There
Yeah.
you go. And before Sean mentions it, the game in hand's against City. But we have got 2 in hand against Wolves. I'll have you know. So I'm guessing Wolves are not playing this week, midweek. So therefore, our games in hand over Wolves are City and Newcastle. See, people, nothing to worry about. He does say, credit to Cadley Dave for his work in turning Paqueta into a tough tackling defensive midfielder. Perhaps he can try Skamaka as a centre-back next. And as for his outstanding insight into wings, he's someone who probably might need more people around him. Due diligence Dave should have known this after the hours he spends watching the videos before. Due diligence Dave. Yeah, whatever happened to that, Sean?
Eh?
One, he's got questions here. One, what does Sean drink on Sundays? Does it seem to be living on a different planet with his post-match tweets, or was it simply Sully's guff?
I was drinking the same as you, which is what do we have in the supporters club? What are the
Madry.
jugs? Huh?
Madry.
Madry, that's it.
Two,
He's a lightweight.
he is. Two, is Nigel still confident of his 22-point tally from the last 12 games?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I have you know, 3 down, people. 3 out of 3 so far.
How many cups
Look
will
at
we
that
winning as well?
performance.
So,
What
one
will we
cup.
do?
We win 1 cup. Europa League, and we're gonna finish on 40 odd points. There you go. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
confident. Obviously, what I do get out of that confidence, I rely that we need 4 points for the next 2 games as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Onwards and upwards, people. All you people. You last laughs, last hardest. Hey, Len.
Well, we won. I'll be laughing at you thinking we're getting 46 points.
There you go.
22 points more.
No, we'll get 22 points more. So we'll get another 19. I'm predicting.
Yeah.
There you go. And what does Moyes see on the training pitch during the week that gives him such confidence to keep on doing the same thing?
I'd like to know as well.
Brady out,
Fire
Sullivan out.
him.
Boys out.
Brady out, Sullivan out, Moyes out, everyone out.
Ted Sexton's my old pen pal. How you doing, Ted? Hope you're well, mate. Evening, gentlemen. He says, probably the last person who doesn't know the answer, but what is Sullivan's obsession wearing a Russian-type clothes? Do you know, Sean? Any reason for that?
I just think he likes them. I don't think I haven't seen him wearing. He wasn't wearing them on Sunday.
I didn't see him Sunday. Did you see him Sunday? Did you see him Sunday?
I didn't see
I
him.
didn't
No.
know.
No.
I haven't seen him for a long while.
I think since he's got his girlfriend, she's told him not to wear the Russian hat. I don't know if that's true, but it appears so.
What's her name? Tits out what?
And Pika, innit?
Oh, yeah, and Pika Tits out, yeah. Do you think Carrot could do the business for us? On Wednesday.
No.
I'll tell you who's doing a good job. That we don't forget next man. No one ever talks about Gary O'Neill.
I was about to say that.
That's, you know, there's quite a few. I won't say I upset my German friend when I mentioned Edin Terzic, but I think he'd prefer him to stay at Dortmund.
Oh, well.
So, but I think he'd be happy if he was at West Ham as well. Old EB. Next up is Paul Noland.
Really?
Shota here, he says. Back after
Beep,
a few
beep.
weeks. Beep, beep, yeah. He said, I forgot the post. Did you all miss my ramblings? Yes, we did, Paul. Nigel says, lying. Well, yesterday was possibly an advert of how not to play football by both
Yep.
sides. Truly dire. Let's not dwell on it. Luck rather than the way we play will keep us. You're probably not wrong there. and hopefully it'll make a change close season. But he doubts it. He's got a couple of quick questions.
Go on.
A few weeks ago, it's my birthday, 23rd of March. So you know for next year. All right. There you go. I don't think that was a question, but his question is, on the day I was born, West Ham lost to Chelsea 1-0. So did West Ham play on the day you were born? And if so,
No.
what was the score? West Ham play on the day you was born, Sean?
It's a good question.
What's your birthday?
25th January 1968.
Definitely. Oh, maybe not on the day you were born.
Thursday, I think, wasn't it?
So, well, if it was a Thursday, so where are we going? 67, 68 season. 25th of Jan.
25th Jan.
They must have played plenty of times on
It
your
was
birthday,
a Thursday, by the way.
27th of Jan. So the first game you was alive, Sean.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Oh, we won 3-1. Burnley in the FA Cup.
There you go.
though. About that.
The next game, the first home game you was alive, Sean.
Yeah.
We beat Fulham 7-2.
There you go. How about
When's
you,
your
John?
birthday, Nigel?
Well, I know my one off by heart. Let's do John first. Is he still here?
Yeah.
When's your birthday, John?
20th of July, 67.
Oh, he's
That's-
like older than
might be
Alright,
near
you
the
should have
Toto.
just said no then, innit it?
Yeah.
So, all right, well, we didn't. So, let's have a look. 67. So, that was
I
the
think
same
it was a
season.
Thursday.
So, the first game you was born was the 19th of August, 67. And we lost 3-2 at home to Sheffield Wednesday. Thanks, John. Well done.
Lucky charm.
Mine was Derby County on the 22nd of November 1969 with a 2-2 draw. Last up, 1972, I'm guessing.
No, not 1st of June.
Oh, you was 1st
Never-
of June, was you?
Yeah, no, I never played the 1st of June.
72 though, innit?
Yeah.
Right, let's have a butchers. 72, August 72, West Brom away, 0-0 draw, 12th of August.
Well, it means nothing to me, August.
No. Well, it was the first game we played when you was alive.
Right. How did we do? 2-2.
0-0.
0-0.
That
Sounds
sums
about
it
right.
up, really.
Yeah.
doesn't it?
That sums it up.
There you go. He said, second question. I see Nigel Khan went to a bit of non-league Saturday, as did I. He watched Banbury United play the Blythe Spartans. Do you remember Blythe and the 70 Cup run? Yeah, up north. Geordie boys, aren't they, Blythe? I think they got like the 4th or 5th round in the 19... I think it was 74, 75, something like that. He said, also, thanks, Nigel. I think people discovered the secret drinking den is getting busier each game. Oh, the secret drinking den, yeah, the Half Moon, I believe, in Stepney. What are we saying for final points title? He says he's going 38.
36.
All right, he says 38. We're finishing 17th. I'm sticking by.
You're 46.
46. Yeah, he thinks the final two games are going to be massive. That's Leeds and Leicester City. John, how many points do you think?
I think we'll be on with Len about 36, 37.
All right.
Relying on other people being worse than us.
So how it worked out yesterday.
Sean, how many points?
40.
40. Look at that. There's a bit of PMT for you people. Bit of positive mental thinking going on. Evening, chaps. It's Eddie the Eagle Edwards. This is another turgid display.
Turgid.
Turgid. That word. This the word. This is the. If you want a title for the episode, Sean.
Turgid.
Time. Turgid. People say all that matters is the 3 points, but I thought football's meant to be entertainment. It is,
Yeah.
but not when you. Look, it is, yeah, but not when you're at the bottom.
Well,
and I'll tell you what, when we were bottom with Johnny Lowe, we didn't play entertaining football either. So let's not go down that road. 84, 85.
Moyes out.
We stayed up by the skin of our arse. Yeah, and if it weren't for Bobby Barnes scoring against Norwich, we'd have gone down. And the club thanked Bobby Barnes by getting rid of him the next season, and we nearly finished third. Well, no, we didn't. We finished third and nearly won the league.
Didn't
But
get
we
rid
were
of him
that close.
straight away.
Well, they got rid of him in the August. He scored the goal in May. Surplus requirements, but he did end up at all the shots, so he didn't really go that high, did he?
No.
People, there you go. He said, I'm one of those, he said, Neil, Eddie the Eagle, says, I go home happy after an attacking and entertaining 4-3 defeat, don't we all? But I go home fed up after watching a boring 1-0 Allardyce style win. But
You see?
Yes, but horses for courses. Forget
Well, do you just
entertainment.
pick the jockey?
Well, yes, maybe.
You don't like Allardyce?
No, I don't. Yeah, but the man was alien to the culture of this club. Moyes, you cannot say Moyes when he came into the club was alien to the culture of it. He didn't disrespect
First
us
time or
the
second
first
time?
day. It was second
Why we got
time.
rid of him in the first place? Talk about fucking doing
No, we got rid of him because they'd shook hands with Pellegrini. The deal was done. He was just a fall guy. He says, I wonder what you make of Moyes' inability to make good use of a traditional centre forward and play to their strengths. He said, Ings is going to go the same way as Alan Skamaka and every other striker he's had. If it's not a converted winger like Arnie and Antonio, he never seems to make it work and seems to piss them off with how he deploys. He says, anyway,
He
keep
said
up the
it.
work. Brady out!
Brady out.
I
Steam
agree.
rolling on.
Good
Mark
comment,
Hunter.
that.
Yeah. Missed getting a fault or questioning, he said last week. He said, you made an all-time great pod a few weeks ago. He said, when someone asked about 5 minutes of past West Ham they would like to live again, Len said that Sean's was the first time he shoved his nose up Sullivan's arse. But Nigel earlier told Sean to get his nose out of Brady's minge, which is probably as sour as her face on The Apprentice. Classic podcasting, guys. Gutted last week to hear we could have had a 44,000 stadium at the Boleyn. I didn't realise that. How can we get an atmosphere reverberating around the bowl? Maybe
Can't
they should
now.
pipe the noise in. Who the hell can stop Maximum on Wednesday?
We're getting there. It's
We're
nearly
getting
going to be
there.
11
Nearly
o'clock
there.
soon.
I'm running through. We did start nearly 8 o'clock, to be fair, not 7 o'clock.
Okay.
It's Finbar Mackay. Aye, Brady Boys and Sullivan Outs.
Lady Moyes and Sullivan out.
Okay, the new. I know it's all about the points, but that was a bleak game. Moyes has sucked the life out of the team, and now he seems to have done it to the fans. I think that's possibly
Yeah.
true as well.
Yeah.
We're going to the game. We know what we're going to get.
Shit.
Do you think that it's worse than under the fat man?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's,
Definitely.
Yes.
no.
No.
still-
Fucking.
We've still
you
not
don't.
booed a win. We've still not booed a win.
Fucking. We should have yesterday.
Still not
This is
booed.
what we got now.
No,
Upton Park, that would have got booed.
No, and I'll tell you, listen, if we'd have beat Southampton 1-0, yeah, and Southampton had scored the winning goal for us, I may have been there with the whole game. But that weren't the case.
No, it was just as bad.
So I guess. But and Hull were down to 10 men. So if
No, I
Southampton
know
had been
that.
down to 10 men, and
Allardyce put on another defender and he went down to 10 men. And he put on another defender.
so anyway,
Yeah.
He said, do you think not only is he a shit football manager, but he's the worst at man management? Do you know what? The funny thing is, I think players would rather play with Allardyce than Moyes. I will say that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think he upsets them all. I think he does rub them up the wrong
Yeah,
way.
Allardyce never picked on players the way Moyes did, or Moyes does, picking out players and their faults. Super Chrissy Mills says, evening, gents. He said, a fantastic result, but another stinker of a match as usual where we create next to nothing. 12 shots on, 3 on target, Chris.
I think the unanimous verdict is that no one enjoyed it, yes.
No. Well, I enjoyed the day, just not the game.
Yeah.
What is it you say, John?
A lovely day out, supported by a game of football.
Here you go. That's a favourite. As always, great day out, and I ended up rat-arsed with my son and missed our roast dinner, which obviously went down a treat. Well, that's better than me, because I didn't get a roast dinner, because apparently I forgot to get the meat out of the freezer while I was in Redditch. So I had to have a kebab instead. Random question. What does the podcast gets allocated one ticket for the conference final if we get there, with flights, spending money, accommodation? Who do you think deserves the trip the most with their years of loyalty and dedication? Who would you select out of the team to enjoy the final? We know in reality it goes to the one that kisses the bald's arse or has the most money, but in a fair world, he says. Also, how badly do you think the club would make when allocating 4,000 final tickets? I can only imagine just how bad they'd get that one wrong. Wait till you hear what the corporates get, Chris. Oh, not allowed to say.
Here we are.
Brady out, Sullivan out,
Brady
Moyes out, Nick and the
everyone
key
out.
out, everybody
4,000.
out.
The final will get 4,000 to each club and 8,000 for a public ballot. In reality, right? Give Nigel, give Len a free ticket. He ain't gonna go. He hardly
Okay.
leaves his house. Let's
I
be
ain't
honest.
I ain't getting on a plane.
So you're not
fuck-
going to bloody Prague. I doubt you've
Nah.
even got a passport, have you, Len?
Yeah, because I had to renew my fucking. I'll tell you the only reason why I got a passport. I got frozen out of my website. Didn't I?
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do. But anyway, we can discount Len.
Give it to George.
George
give him
has
the
only made one
chance.
podcast. The chance of him being allowed to Prague is...
Yeah, but just
is
give
not
it to
gonna
him. Give him the chance of seeing the West Ham win something.
Yeah.
I do
Give
agree
it to
that I
George.
don't think he'd be allowed to go.
He would be allowed to
And John,
go.
you're saying miserable. You won't go. You go. Yeah, I would love to.
I'd
go,
give it to
but-
George if I was giving it. So yeah,
Yeah, but he's your son, you're supposed to do that, aren't you?
exactly.
Though if my son was a West Ham fan and there was only one ticket to the final, I would tell him how it went. There is a problem with me if I've got the ticket,
Go on.
and it's all to do with what happened today that I didn't realise.
Go on.
What happened today?
I don't know.
What was on the news this morning? What do you think came on the news this morning?
The
And I thought,
pro-Russian military blogger being blown up by...
no, what in this country? Who went
oh.
on strike today?
The teachers.
No,
The nurses.
worse.
No, they
Even
did.
worse for this
Passport
thing. The
office.
passport office. Why
Oh, yeah.
would I think?
No,
oh,
you haven't got a passport.
fuck. Yeah, no, I
What are
haven't.
you like?
Yeah. It run
That's
out.
you out then. So it's
Yeah.
George's.
So
all day
would
long.
you don't think you're going to go to the final though, do you? If you
I
got there?
would have. I've sort of set aside a couple of days to go. Yeah.
You did
I
think
would-
of renewing your passport.
I would give up my ticket
Yeah.
because I'm in Spain anyway.
Alright.
I'm
So that's
bad
quite
for
funny. The only person who could actually like get a ticket,
It's George.
no, is Sean, and he's going to be in Spain anyway. Well, listen, us
right.
riff-raff have got no
Yeah,
chance.
but
of
he
getting
could
a
get
ticket
one
anyway.
for George.
Yeah, if George wants to go, I'll get him a ticket through the ballot.
I mean,
of
we
course.
ain't even got to the final yet, but you know,
Yeah.
if he
Okay.
wants to go, you already know you can get him a ticket.
Well, I could get lucky in the ballot.
You could. I mean, you've been lucky so many times. It's,
I know, right?
You are a naturally lucky person, quite
Do you reckon
clearly.
you can be lucky for Saturday?
I
Not
could-
as lucky as me.
I can- George wants a ticket for Fulham, doesn't he? Let me have a word. Who's he
Are
going
you
with
going
then?
Saturday, Sean?
No, I'm away in the Cotswolds.
Again?
Yeah,
You're going, well,
It's Easter.
Judith Chalmers.
it's not Easter. Tedbury.
He's like-
Staying
he's
in.
like- Julia
Tedbury.
Chalmers is one of these people that has to be out all the time.
You know where
Right.
Tedbury is?
Cadbury.
Cadbury.
Tetbury.
Tedbury.
Tedbury.
Yeah.
Is it Gloucestershire?
It is. It's in the Cotswolds, but it's famous for something.
Cheese?
A dick in the Cotswolds. There you go.
Oh, I know why it's famous. It's the home of King Charles III and Camilla.
Of course.
I thought that was Highgrove.
It's well famous for that.
There you go.
Anyway.
Last
just-
one, anyway.
Yeah, go on.
It's Adam Leatherbarrow, who I quite enjoy. Reading your tweets. You at the moment you're one of my favourite tweeters. Sometimes I think, mate, I'm not sure about you in the stadium, but anyway, He says, "Evening,
What's he
gentlemen."
said?
And no, he goes. He's not on. I get it. He's trying to find good in the stadium, I think, and the way it can be reconfigured. So
Right.
he's quite, I don't know, positive. I don't want to make him stand out as stadium lover, because obviously in the current setup, I think even Adam knows it don't work. But I think he's a man who wants to find a solution.
Yeah, because that's the way his mind works. Because
Yeah.
he's an architect.
Yeah, which I quite like actually, and I think it's worth discussion. We should have a discussion with him in a special, I think, and I can
He
ridiculous.
does want to come on. So.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we'd have to ask him on. Anyway, he says, "Evening, gentlemen." He said, then says Anshel. He says, "As of tonight, we're at the bottom half of the league. West Ham and Forest have kept their managers. Do you think it's been a good move to keep Moyes?" I'll
Not
let him
really.
go on. He says, "I think stabilisation is one of the reasons why we'll stay up this season. A few more wins over the next month will prove vital."
I think better players than the rest is the reason we stay up.
I think we've got a better chance of staying up now with him than getting rid of him.
So you're saying, right?
Yeah.
If you stick with him, we've got a better chance of staying up than if you get rid of him.
Yeah, I am saying it. At this
I'd
moment
get
in time.
I'd get rid of him and put Nolan in charge.
In
for
a
the rest of the
fucking
season.
in a heartbeat, I'd get
Yeah.
rid of him.
No, I don't. I'm not buying it. I get it. I just think, look, let's stay up. Letting Dave will go down. I really don't care, to be honest. So perhaps it's a good situation to be in. Not bothered if we stay up. Not bothered if we go down.
Well,
I
get
wanna
rid of
see-
him then if
when-
you're not bothered.
Well, no, yeah, but I won't sack. I don't. I think a manager's got to see it through to the end of the season, and then you go,
Oh.
"Thanks a lot, Dave."
God,
Out the door
thanks
you
for
go.
fuck all.
I don't like the fact that 12 managers have lost their job. And at the end of the day,
Couldn't care less.
for all those that say, "Oh, we need to change our manager," and whatever, there's a lot of clubs around us that have changed their manager, and they're still struggling like us. So maybe
They're
it's not-
happier though. They don't
Well,
fucking
are
put
they?
up with
I
shit.
don't think Southampton. Come on, you was talking as well. They were more glad to be shot of fucking Nathan Jones, who
Yeah.
rang around too long.
Well, look, I mean,
Look who they bought in though. Do you know what I mean? Southampton. That's not really a good example.
No, but that's the thing. But who do you? This is the thing where I go, West Ham fans, you dreamers. You want to sack Moyes? Come on, we all know they were all going, "Let's sack Moyes, get Pochettino in or Tuchel."
no, just sack Moyes. I'm not saying getting anyone.
No, you're not. Yeah, but the majority don't they? They're all dreamers. You know, they'll sack
not,
Moyes.
though,
Who's he
are
going to
they?
bring in? He's going to bring in Benitez.
Well, why,
You know that's what's going to
why
happen.
he's
could
not.
why could they not
Look
have
at the-
sacked Moyes and brought Unai Emery in? Why couldn't they have done
Oh,
that?
Unai Emery wouldn't come to us. He's already
Why
turned
would he
us
not
down
come
once.
with us?
He's already sat in
went to
Sullivan's
Villa.
house. He's seen his
yeah, it's
living
Sullivan,
room.
isn't it?
He's
It's
seen.
Sullivan,
No, this
yeah.
is what I'm saying. Until the ownership changes, it ain't managers that's got to change this club. It's the ownership.
Yeah,
Until
exactly.
they all fuck off, Kaczynski, the lot, all go, then someone fresh comes in, and then the
Yeah.
club can try. I'm not even saying new ownership might not take us forward, but it will still be better than what we've got now.
Kutinsky, do you think needs to go as well? Then?
Yeah,
His payday is to get bought out one day, John.
Adam's
He's
got
not the
another
one.
question.
Go on.
For Sean, no. He said, separate question with Sean Whetstone. Are you going to do more football-based finances and football politics mini podcasts or YouTube shows in the future? I
Fucking
think it's
hope
always
not.
good to hear and see things like this highlighted more often.
Fuck off.
Well, funny you should say that because
We're not fucking finishing. That can't be the last fucking point of the
the-
podcast.
So,
Mark Saggers on Sunday asked me exactly the question. He asked me about whether he said a lot of the reports that people will buy the stadium, and I said, well, actually, it's a made-up thing because the government has spent £1 billion on this stadium. No one's going to buy it without the subsidy. They just released the accounts last week. It lost another 60 million. Kredinsky, no one's going to buy it. It's just unbuyable unless you get a massive government subsidy. But to answer your question, yes, let's do some.
It's unbuyable unless you get a massive government subsidy.
It loses too much money, John.
Yeah, but so it's
So
viable.
it's the same amount of
Unviable.
money.
It's
Of course,
not
it's
viable.
viable.
Unviable. Viable.
But if you owned it and operated it yourself,
No. Between the onerous contracts with all the others, you can't just, unless you're going to pay hundreds of millions to buy off the catering and everything. But the whole setup
you
is,
should be able to get rid of the catering for breaking its contract. Surely you should be able to.
this is the problem. The contracts are crap. But anyway, we haven't got time to discuss it tonight.
So
It is
Devin,
a mess.
the Dukes of Hazzards,
Hey.
has sent us a picture saying, "Yeehaw! This is our Charleston, South Carolina crew watching the match at 9 a.m. Yeehaw!" He says, "I'm button row all the way to the left." And there's a lot of fans who, frankly, struggle to cross their arms properly.
So one of them.
I don't know where. I told you one day you go down that road.
Can I share it with this group?
No,
I've
fuck
seen
off.
it.
He's seen it. So
I
anyway,
never feel the same way.
Circle of
I've
Trust.
never done that. I'm the only person.
Circle of Trust. Circle of Trust.
Listen, never to
Circle
never
of
to have
Trust.
done it.
Circle of Trust. Yeah.
You're tiny.
Many moons ago. We're talking many
You're
moons ago.
tiny.
Many moons ago. Many moons ago.
Anyway, if you hack me, you'll be able to get that picture. It might get hacked, and get into the public domain that way. Talking to that question earlier.
Oh dear.
Anyway,
remember, hold up. It was many moons ago.
yeah. Thanks to your friend who sent it to. You know you are.
Yeah.
You know you
Good
are.
customer too.
Yeah. Cool. Are we done?
That's your lot.
Who won, by the way?
Oh,
Out
hold up.
of
1-1.
Everton.
1-1.
Oh, it finished 1-1, did it?
Spurs
Scott
got
Anderson
Spursy, didn't
quickly says, even after revelation of Sean being allowed to call the Baroness Karen, leaves me wondering what she calls Sean. Is it A, Baldrick, B, just points him and says, "You there,"
he? Yeah.
or C, Shane?
No.
Brady out.
Brady out. Sean out.
It's just cost me Sean. Anyway,
Does she? Hold up. Oh, there's one more. I need to find. No, he's a regular. They all, it's not nice. He said, Devin does say, I don't know why Facebook hides comments, says, "Howdy, gents, I've never known West Ham without Moyes. Let alone sinking. Don't know if it's worth it to sack him this late. Who is there otherwise? Yeehaw!"
Hang on a minute. So we're saying he's never seen West Ham without Moyes.
Yeah. He's new to
How
the game,
have,
isn't he?
how
New
have,
to the game.
yeah, but how is he new to the game in this kind of era? What?
Yeah, but this is he's in Charleston, South Carolina, isn't he? You know, there's
No,
a lot
I
of new
understand
fans. We're picking up a lot of. And here is a funny thing. I was on with Carrot and Booze the other week, and a couple of young boys run in. One of them is a bit temptuous, calls Moyes Mr. Moyes, West Ham Online, loves winding people up. Yet when you hear him speak, and another one come on, so he's like 19, and another one come on that was about 23, and this is what they said, why they wouldn't sack Moyes. You ready?
Go on.
Moyes is the best manager they've known at West Ham.
Yeah.
And
This
when
is-
you nail it down, that's actually true. David Moyes to the under-22s is like our John Long.
No, but I mean, they must have seen Slaven Bilic. Must have enjoyed that.
Well, if you got, it depends how old you are, innit? Not everyone comes to West Ham 7 or 8. You know, they might be 12 or 13. So in the
Yeah.
past 6 or 7 years,
guys,
what have you
we
seen?
keep on talking. It's going to be the next day.
Sorry. Last way, Joe Cazell, because he's a regular.
Hey.
I've got to let Joe. Joe, you get the last word, I promise you.
Yeah, you
It's
deserve it.
another glorious performance from the boys, executing the Moyes game plan, once again providing genius he is.
Right, he's right,
He
because
says-
he plays for 1-0. Fuck me, he got it.
Yeah, there you go. Oddly, some good individual displays, but still not a great team performance. As the list of available managers increasing by the week, will the poison dwarf have a plan by the summer? Brady out.
Brady
And that's your lot,
out.
people. That's the end.
Brady in.
The question time.
Great. Anyway, I've been
John's
Sean.
going to be gutted he left.
Yeah, I've been Sean. John has been. Len has been.
I'm starting to regret the vegan sausage now because I'm hungry.
And Nigel has been.
Dragging it out to the end. Yeehaw!
Come on, you own.
Bobby Moore. More than just a podcast.
Swear these are getting longer.
Bobby Moore. More than just a podcast.
Popularity comes at a price. I see someone else does it. Impressions now. On another podcast. Catching on.